Sure. Thank you so much. Hope everyone is enjoying the nice weather. All right. I think we can get started. I think everyone at this point has heard of Figure, Tesla, Aptronic, all the big robotics companies. And I think there's one common denominator with all of them. Where are they? We keep getting promised robots, humanoid robots, general purpose robots, but we never see them. Um, and that's a core issue that my co-founder and I have been exploring and found a few reasons why it's taking so long to come to market. And one of which is that everyone is operating in their silos. Everyone is trying to do everything all at once, which is extremely resource constrained. And we figured out a way of how to get to market quickly and practically with affordable, modular, general purpose robots. So the problem we face right now, and a little bit of background about myself, is I used to work at Tesla, where I led very advanced robotics teams in the manufacturing division, battery teams. I touched pretty much every part to come out of Tesla, other than the Cybertruck and the Optimus robot. Ironically, so I've seen a lot of these processes go on in factories. So if you look at here, you have a series of stamping stations, and what these usually do is they stamp body parts of vehicles. And the problem right now is they're very batch based, meaning that one station is going to require intermittent operation. So it's not operating 24/7, meaning it's not that practical for one singular fixed industrial robot. So you need something that's mobile that can move from station to station efficiently and effectively. So usually what happens in these scenarios is you have one human tending one or two stations to be able to operate the machines and create the parts that are needed for the entire assembly. And what that looks like is usually these shops run for 24/7, and that requires four people over four shifts to make it run 24/7. And for four people, right now, the average salary, at least in the US, would be $310,000 a year just to operate two stations. With Feather, you can replace those four people with two robots. And right now, our unit cost is about $3.39 per hour, totaling a cost of $30,000 a year, saving our customers $280,000 a year if they replace these headcounts with our system. So, what makes us different than all of the other robotics companies that you've seen out there right now is one, we have a modular design. We can put on any types of arms, any types of platform. We really think modularity is very important in this entire robotics revolution to operate in different areas. You're not going to need legs to operate those stations that I was showing you earlier. Wheel platforms just do fine. And people think that legs can be very versatile, but coming from someone who's been in the robotics industry, legs are a nightmare to program in your whole robotics software stack. It takes a long time to get it to operate reliably, and we won't see legs operate reliably for a very long time. So we go with the wheel platform. Our system is one third the cost of the competitors. So Tesla, Aptronic, Figure, their systems are going to cost you $100,000 plus to integrate into your factories. So we figured out a way of how to use a very broad supply chain and make the parts within that supply chain very reliable, and patenting a few items in the system to make it very reliable and robust with existing parts on the market. And not only that, but we have 10 hours of battery life and 15 pounds payload per arm at worst case scenario. And we have a holonomic base. So the wheelbase is very versatile on flat ground. You unlock all degrees of freedom on the floor. So I'll show you a video in a second. But the beauty of this is this back box here is the battery box and houses most of the electronics. You can stack as many batteries as you want. That's physically possible, and increase or decrease your battery life depending on your application. So here's a video of our system in action.
Hey Feather, bring me the vinyl wrap and the box on the ground.
Your wish is my command.
So here you can see the wheeled platform operating in any direction. Both of the arms working synchronously. really good at material handling, line side feeding. And one other thing to mention is since we don't have legs, we can't bend forward, but we designed a telescoping torso. This torso can move up and down about 550 millimeters, which solves a lot of the reach issues that we face. So I'll play it again. So that's our system. It's right now in Palo Alto, constantly being innovated on. So as I was saying, Tesla, Figure, Apptronic, Unitree, there's a lot of competition, right? But they're not approaching the market in a logical way. Our system starts at $35,000, whereas Tesla, Figure, Apptronic, I was saying earlier, at $100,000 plus. And Unitree, they're H1, so they have two models. They have the H1, which is more practical, but then they have the G1, which is the smaller one, which you can't really use for much. And their systems are $120,000 for the larger one and $35,000 for the smaller one. We want to launch our product early 2026. We already have interest in fulfilling orders, but Tesla, Figure, Apptronic, their systems are still unavailable. Good luck trying to buy one. And Unitree, you can purchase their system, but there's no support network here. And I actually talked to a lot of people in kind of the manufacturing space, and a lot of the electric car manufacturers went to China trying to find a solution, but there's not a good enough support network for the Chinese companies to come to the US, and we want to build that. So our system is designed for deployment. We want to make it reliable, robust, and capable, as you saw from the video. Tesla, Figure, Apptronic are trying to do the same thing, but with much more complexity. But Unitree is more focused on kind of the hobbyist and researcher side. You won't see their systems being used in real-world applications. Our battery size is 5 kilowatt hours, whereas Tesla, Figure, Apptronic, and Unitree are 2.25 kilowatt hours and below, so less than 50%. And our system's modular and customizable. So if you want new arms, you can change the arms. If you want, we actually had one customer said, can you just give us one with one arm? That's all we need. We can do that. And it's very minimal. We designed the whole system to be very flexible, to modify it to our customers' needs, because as this market changes, we're going to try to find the right form factor. And I think at this point, everyone knows how big the labor market is. Morgan Stanley estimates $211 billion of revenue by 2035 and $5 trillion by 2050. To be honest, I think we need a good player who can scale effectively, which is Feather. And I think this market is going to grow much faster than what these analysts are predicting, much faster. And what we're seeing right now is with that, why I'm saying it's going to move faster is if anyone's following physical intelligence or skilled AI, they're releasing very advanced models. We're actually talking to those companies as well, and they're looking for a reliable platform that they can deploy. They don't really have a good solution right now. They're using kind of hobbyist off-the-shelf robot arms, but they're advancing their physical intelligence models so quickly that I think Pi just released a video of a robot going into a home and washing dishes and making a bed. So these models are getting bigger, better and better. And we're going to see that ChatGPT moment with the physical intelligence side. And what we want to do is focus on hardware initially, and be able to make the best hardware platform for people to build on. So our traction right now is we were incorporated just in January 7th. We move very fast. We closed our first angel check of $50,000, and we've done all this with just that check. And then we've secured about 5 letters of intent, some of which are from entrepreneurs and startups. There are a lot of startups coming to market trying to build these models into systems. They're kind of focused on the software side, but they're still looking for a hardware solution to be able to deploy their models on. And 3 of those LOIs are from what's called a manufacturing integrator. And a manufacturing integrator is someone who goes into a factory and designs all the robotics, all the systems, all the automation within a factory. And they're looking for systems to be able to speed up that process for them to automate tasks within a factory. So what's our go-to-market? Stage one, we want to focus on reliable hardware. We want to make the best hardware that people can build off of. We really think that there's a developer flywheel out there. And like the companies, like the bigger companies, Tesla, Figure, Apptronic, they're trying to do everything themselves, which is why we're seeing such a delay with the integration to the real world. And what we want to do is we want to give the hardware to all these companies, all these AI models to be able to deploy quickly. And that's what we're missing right now. So stage two is we want to start building a developer API. It's kind of like when the first PC came out, like Apple. They created a platform where software engineers can go build the best software, but it's on the Apple computer. And we see the same trajectory in the robotics space as with the PC space. So we want to make our system open to developers and give developers the creative freedom to build on our platform. And that will be essentially manufacturing integrators and factories. Stage three of our go-to-market is when we build reliable hardware, when we lock that down, when we get really good at that, and we mature our developer API, we want to go into more variable environments, such as like restaurants or retail or even even hospitality. So we really see this advancing step by step. And finally, stage four, we have the reliable hardware, we have a mature developer API, and we want to build a foundation model. That's when we think it's important that we should go end to end. If we try to do everything at once, we're going to fall on our faces, like a lot of these companies are doing and burning through capital very quickly. And that's when we want to go into homes. So we hope to bring a feather into your houses in the near future. So right now, our path towards our business model right now is our unit price is about 25 to 50,000. Within that price range, you can expect on the bottom level, it's more of kind of like a research platform. But once you get up to that $50,000 price level, you're going to get more reliable motors, more practical for real world application. And our plan is to get $10,000 profit per unit. And finally, with that, we think we can get a $3 to $5 hourly cost for our systems that are deployed in the real world. So 2026, our goal is to achieve 100 units, to sell 100 units in 2026. That'll give us a revenue of $3.5 million. And at a 15x valuation, that's $52.5 million. We want to ramp that up 10x from 2027 to 2028. And by 2029, we want to get to 35,000 units a year. That will be over $1.2 billion of revenue and a valuation of $18 billion. We want to move fast. And finally, by 2030, we want to get to 75,000 units a year. And eventually, our dream is to IPO this company and be the leading robotics company in this space. So, Hua, my co-founder over there, he's been in the robotics space for quite some time. He actually worked at Kind Humanoid. Some of you might know that. Kind Humanoid was actually acquired by 1X, but Hua realized that there's more important things to achieve in this space, and that's why he founded Feather, and he wants to build this and make a bigger impact in the robotics space. And I joined him, bringing my manufacturing and hardware knowledge to be able to scale this effectively. My background comes from Tesla, as I mentioned before, where I scaled some of the most advanced manufacturing production lines out there. And I also helped lead a division within a manufacturing integration company and scaled sales to over $1 million within 1 year. So right now we're trying to raise our seed round of $4 million. We have about $250,000 to $500,000 soft committed from a firm, and we're looking for a lead. Our milestones with this raise is that we want to establish a 30 unit per month production capacity here in the Bay Area and expand beyond that. And then we also want to integrate a developer API to make it easy for developers to build on our platform. And then finally, we want to hit product market fit with 3 million plus ARR in projected revenue. So thank you.
Incredible stuff. We're ready for questions. You did that good of a job.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.